So hi everyone, this is Gurata. I'm gonna present my midterm project for this course. So this project will discuss the morphemes and their types in English. And my objectives in this presentation will be summed up in the following points. The first one, what is a morpheme? The second one, what are the types of morphemes in English? How to conduct a morphological analysis of words in English? Types of affixes in English and differences between inflectional and derivational suffixes. So, morpheme and morphology, it's a branch of linguistics that handle the study of the internal structure of words. So it consists of analyzing words and finding out the building up of words from different sources or origin, for example. That's why we have morphological analysis and word formation as two main parts of this branch of linguistics. If we try to do morphological analysis of the word morphology itself, we'll find out it has two main morphemes. The first one is morph, which is a Latin morpheme meaning shape or form, and then we have ology, which means the study of or the science of. So one more thing that we need to define is a word, and a word is a combination of vocal sounds used to express an idea or to denote something, an attribute or a relationship. So far we said we have two main parts. We have words and morphemes. So what are the differences between them? Or how can we find some connection between these two words? In morphology, we divide words into morphemes. So we could say that words are superordinate while morphemes are subordinate. So word is an umbrella term that includes one or more morphemes coming together to form this word. So we need to know what is a morpheme. We have different definition of this term, but according to Mir 2009, a morpheme is a minimal unit of meaning. While if we look at Giorgio in 2021, it could be the smallest unit of a meaning or the part of a word that has some grammatical function. And we're going to discuss it in a bit right now, what do I mean by this. But a very interesting part to help us conceptualize what is a morpheme and how can we identify a morpheme is the three condition provided by Stageberg 1981. He said, in order for a group of sounds to be labeled as a morpheme, they must have a meaning. So a morpheme is a word or a part of a word that has a meaning. And also, it cannot be divided because this is the smallest unit and it has stable meaning in different verbal environment. For example, if we go back to the example we provided earlier, which is the ology one, ology, it means the study of or the science of. So if we look for some other English words that have this morpheme, we'll find out words like psychology, phonology, dermatology, or even sociology. In all of them, in these different verbal environments, the ology has the same meaning, the study of or the science of. Let's have an example. So here we have two words, play and playing. How many morphemes do they have? The first one, according to the definition we provided and the conditions provided by Stageberg, we could say that the first one includes just one morpheme. It has a meaning, cannot be divided, same meaning, different verbal environment. While the second one, it has two different morphemes. The first one is play, as illustrated in the first example. The second one, it has a meaning or it does a grammatical function. In this case, it refers to the progressive aspect of the verb. So, one way of dividing morphemes in English is free versus bound. In fact, there are some other ways, like for example, base versus affixes and root versus affixes, but we will stick to this one in this presentation. So, what is a free morpheme? A free morpheme can stand alone and it has a meaning. So, for example, if we look at this adjective new or tower, each of them consists of one free morpheme because they can stand alone and each has its own meaning. While the bound morpheme, it has a meaning, that's why it's similar to the free morpheme, while it's different from the free morpheme in that it cannot stand alone. It must be added to, or attached to, or connected to another morpheme to form a word. Let's have, for example, er or ing or or s, or let's go for example, ed. All of these, or meant, or ness, or shap. All of these bound morpheme cannot stand alone. They must be added to a free morpheme. So these free morphemes mostly includes affixes, and affixes, it's a Latin term that includes add to the fix, add to the lexical item, and they can be categorized into prefixes and suffixes. So the prefixes, for example, are the bound morpheme that comes before a base or a root of the word. So agree, this is a base, this is a free morpheme, and whatever comes before it, this would be a prefix. And in English, according to Stageberg, we have around 75 prefixes. Almost all of them includes preposition or adverbial in the prefix places. Suffixes, on the other hand, are bound morpheme that occur after a base. So shrinkage, failure, or noisy, or dream, all of them are suffixes because they occur after a base, which is in this case shrink. The second one fail. The third one is noise. Sorry, the last one is dream. So suffix may bind up to the number of three or four. So for example, here we have normalizers. If we'd like to do some morphological analysis of this word, we'll find out the base, the main part of the word here is norm. This is a free morpheme. And then we have four different suffixes, ale, which is an adjective, then a verb, then a noun, then a plural form of the noun. So we can further categorize suffixes into two main parts, inflectional suffixes, derivational suffixes. In English, we have 9 inflectional suffixes. 3 of them occur with nouns, 4 with verbs, 2 with adjectives. The nouns one are the 3 S's. Usually, this is a simple way of memorizing them. So the first S is a plural S, the second S is the singular possessive s, and the last s is the plural possessive s. When it comes to verbs, we have s, which is the present simple third person pronoun, or ed past simple, or ed past participle, or ing the present participle. When it comes to adjective, we have er and est. So how can we identify an inflectional suffix? An inflectional suffix do not change the part of speech. So for example, if we have the word cat as a part of speech, it is a noun. So if we add the inflectional suffix s, in this case, it's still a noun, however, its number is different. So in this, it is singular, while here it becomes plural. When it comes to called, it's an adjective. After adding er, still an adjective, but again, it's in the comparative case, not the simple case. So cough, again, this is the infinitive form or the lexical form, while this it is the past simple form. Another another characteristic of using inflectional suffix is that they come last in a word. So they usually close over words. So shorten, for example, or industrializing. So they come last in a word. We cannot add let's say another inflectional suffix after them, and they go with all the stem of a given part of speech. Let's say if we would like to have the present simple form of the verb or the third person pronoun, so we add s or es with all of them. One last characteristic of inflectional suffix is that they do not pile up. So once we add one of them, that's it. So we cannot add ing, for example, and ed together. However, we have one exception, which is adding the plural s plus the possessive s in this word. The other category of suffixes is the derivational suffixes, which we have only three of them. They are arbitrary, so they are not fixed. They are countless. We do not have one fixed rule to categorize them again because some words have some morphemes while some other words to go for other morphemes. For example, if we'd like to get the noun form of achieve, we add meant. If we'd like to get the noun form of happy, we add ness. If we'd like to get the noun form of identify, it becomes identity. So the first one we add meant, the second one we add ness, the third one we add ity or ty. Then they change the part of speech. If we look back at achieve, it's a verb. After adding meant, it becomes a noun. Happiness at adjective, happy, it's an adjective. Ness, it becomes a noun. And then we have identify, it's a verb. After adding ty, it becomes a noun. And they do not close our words. So we can add after them inflectional suffixes. So, for example, we have singer, singers, or play, player, players. So to wrap up in this presentation, I go over what is a morpheme, what is morphology, the different types of morphemes, how to do morphological analysis of words based on the criteria, and the different types of morphemes of free versus bound, and the subcategories such as affixes and inflectional derivational suffixes. So that's all I have. I hope you enjoy my presentation, and please feel free to ask any question on the discussion board. And that's all I have. Thank you.